Hello everybody, this is JHancho. Welcome back to Group C play. This is going to feature Bane as the red Terran on the bottom, and Caboose as the pink Protoss on the top. So as these players' economies get started up, let's just go quickly through the map of Blistering Sands. It is a mirrored map, so it's going to be split in half, and it's going to be symmetrical along that line. So this ramp leading to the natural is very nice to defend as Terran player, easy to wall off against a Zerg as a Protoss player, and very interesting to deal with if you are a Zerg player taking this fast expansion. Even though the rush distance is pretty long, it's pretty dangerous. The thing that evens it out for Zerg, though, is this back door. You can quickly force your opponent to move his army and then run speed lanes into his expansion or do some fun stuff like that. The valley in the middle favors Zerg just because of the wide ramps. You can do a lot of flanking, although if you get caught in the valley without any high ground vision, you'll be in for a heap of trouble. As we follow this probe scouting, Bane's SCV will be scouting as well. So we're going to look at Bane building his wall off and Caboose starting to warp in his gateway. Everything looks normal. I like it. Bane's continuing to produce SCVs. Has one on here just to defend against any type of proxy gateway, cannon rush, anything like that. Can really hurt a Terran, but if you're aware of all the probes that are in your base or around your base, you should be fine. But Bane getting up his barracks in an interesting position. We might see a tech lab over here. Not really sure what he's going to do with this space. Probably just put another supply depot in there to allow easy access out. This SCV kind of having free reign to scout, although Bane has nothing to hide, or Caboose has nothing to hide at this point. Everything looks normal. We should be seeing either a cyber core or another gate go down, as his mineral count is very high, unless we want to see a fast expand elsewhere. This probe just kind of moving around, this SCV going back to the mineral line, just going to continue mining. Why you lose that? I think it's 0.8 minerals a second. This Marine is going to probably finish off the probe, as it's not really having the care and attention on it that it needs. Orbital on the way for Bane, second gas, so we might see a factory after this tech lab. He probably will have enough in the next 30-40 seconds, which is fine. First Zealot is out for Caboose, getting a quick shot on that SCV, lowering its health immensely. But unfortunately, it looks like Caboose will be supply blocked, as he has 18 out of 18 and no pylon in the way. So no stalkers from that gateway quite yet. Second gas always coming down after the SCV died in the base. I'm not sure who got that kill, either the probe or the Zealot. I'm not even sure where the Zealot went. There it is. And Caboose says, he just realized he was supply blocked, and that really hurts, especially early game. But we're seeing a factory go down, as we do have another Marine training. Obviously, it looks like this factory will swap for the tech lab, so we're not seeing any sort of early infantry upgrades. Although it's interesting, Marauders do very, very well against gateway units for Protoss, especially with the concussive shell upgrade. But for now, Bane just queuing up a couple supply depots a little bit early, but you don't want to be, too late with it. Let's see what this factory churns out as soon as it's connected. We are seeing a siege tank, and a ping goes down from either one of the players or a ref, and we see immediate scan. And what does he see? Caboose being supply blocked yet again. It looks like Caboose is going to be moving out, making a pylon at the back door. Never a bad idea, as the back door can spell doom if your army is out of position. I do like the pylon placement. Always, 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 if you're Protoss, make sure you have double coverage with your pylons at least. We do have a force of 3 stalkers out and the Zealot at the watchtower, which again, the watchtower provides huge vision. Look at that, and compare it to what Bane can see. He can only see his base, but with units all around and units at the watchtower, Caboose has a much bigger vision advantage. Bane continuing to make a literal ton of supply depots. I'm not sure how much each one weighs, but more tanks on the way. Siege is already researched, and it looks like this Marine is going to be in for a nasty surprise when he does find that zealot up on the watchtower. We do see more stalkers and blink being researched. Unfortunately, for Bane, these tanks will do a lot of damage to the stalkers until they can blink in and do a ton of damage to them. An expansion now going down for Bane. Unit count for both players. The Terran is actually ahead in workers. In my book, that shouldn't happen, as the Nexus has Chrono Boost, which is getting used fairly well, although it's being used mainly for, it seems, gateway units and upgrades. So Warp Gate has been researched for a while. No units out of the gateway, but 400 minerals going to go towards an expansion. Interesting game so far. We do have supply depots being put up in the periphery of Bane's base, as opposed to right next to his command center, which is actually what we see now. A lot of SCVs being produced right now, as a bunch of units are being produced right now. Starport, the command center, is still finishing up in eBay, and more SCVs. He has enough for a mule or a scan, and let's see exactly what he spends it. He spends it on a scan. Looks like we're going to see some Colossi out here, and Warp Gate's finally becoming, finally coming into effect. Now, 2-gate Robo being very much delayed by this Twilight Council is kind of an interesting play as he gets up this expansion. He still hasn't completely saturated his main base yet, so we'll see exactly how that plays in as we see the income just absolutely dominate for the Terran player because of the mule he does not have, but he has a ton of SCVs, which he'll take about half. Look at that, and he's continuing to train SCVs. That's always smart. It's called Manyarding, and it looks like we're going to see another orbital. Can't blame him for that. Putting it down the double gas immediately so he can start churning out. Looks like maybe we're probably going to see Vikings to counter the Colossi out of the reactor starport. More tanks. I would absolutely love to see a Ghost Academy so we can see some EMP. Now, if you've never seen Sensor Tower, they are amazing. If anything for the Protoss players, forces goes in that little circle, you will be able to see it as a Terran player. It's kind of interesting. It looks like Caboose transferring a great number of his probes, and looks like he's going to continue to put out the Colossus. Now, the Colossus in this robo facility is in kind of a bad spot. I understand you don't want it to get sniped, but this makes it easier for Banshees to snipe it, as well as harder for the units to get out. But we do have extended thermal lance on the way, which is very, very effective, especially against Bio. Unfortunately, Bane is not going Bio. More sensor towers going up. Again, a smart play, because far too many Terrans don't use it. Now, supply depot wall going up for Bane as well. Maybe to limit DT aggression. Maybe it's just because it's convenient for him. Who knows? Still off of one factory, one starport. More Vikings on the way to deal with those Colossi. But really, both players, no aggression on either side. The Zealot's slightly out of range, and Caboose owns both towers. Unfortunately, he is very much behind in the worker count, as we see the Terran enjoy both a mule advantage as well as 17 workers as well. So once we see some action in the game, I'm curious to see exactly how this is going to work. 2-gate Robo off of 2 base. You should be affording much more than that as he puts down his 3rd gateway. Warping in 2 stalkers. We don't have a forward pylon as is natural, nor do we see anything used at this gas. And we do have Vikings moving out, being pinged by either probably one of the referees. Regardless, these look like they're going to be moving out against this Colossus. Unfortunately, it's not going to be effective because of all the stalkers. More tanks, a few Marines. Sort of interested to see if this is Bane just turtling up. But some Void Rays could really wreck his day, especially if they get charged up out here on the sensor tower or on a supply depot or something like that. The sensor tower is very exposed, as is the supply depot. Void Rays would be very nice. He has no observer on the field. He is getting upgrades, much to his advantage. We do have weapons level 1 as well as armor level 1. So that's going to make his units, especially Zealots, very much more effective. This gateway lying as a gateway instead of a warp gate. Looks like one of the Vikings is limping away. After getting 2 kills, it looks like they landed to take out probes. More should be on the way. Full chrono boost.